Hey everybody, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com, and in the previous little improvisation you just watched, I was playing over a 4-chord progression that consisted of major 7th chords and minor 7th chords. We've already covered in a previous lesson some soloing techniques and arpeggios and scales to use over the major 7th chord. But now this lesson is the beginning of our look at soloing over minor chord types, or the minor chord family. That's a minor chord, minor 7th chord right there. So to start the lesson, we're doing this all in D, off of D minor chords. So you'll see at the beginning of the PDF tutorial, so you're going to want to download this at GuitarLessons365.com. Go to the Lessons Archive in the Jazz University section, and you'll find this lesson, and you'll see, obviously this video and this PDF there. Now this PDF, it starts with 5 chord forms: a D minor 7th chord, a D minor 6th chord, a D minor 9, a D minor 6/9, and a D minor 11. Now that's all off the same D root note, so that is movable wherever you want to take it. If you want to make it, instead of a D minor 7, an E minor 7, or an E minor 6, or the idea around this is to, when you're learning these chord forms, look and see what note is what scale degree in the tone. That's what's going to help you the most. So we have D minor 7 here, and we have the root, the 5th, the 7th. So you can see that, root, 5, 7, then the 3rd, and the 5th. Now that third, whenever you see 3 on the chart, we're doing these arpeggio shapes, whenever you see a 3 or a 7, it's actually a minor 3rd, or so it'd be called flat 3rd a lot of times if you're comparing it to a major scale. So we have a flat 1, 5, flat 7, flat 3, 5. Okay? Do that for all of those chords. Besides, don't just memorize the shapes. Know what each note is in it. That will help you a lot for what's coming up next. So we have the arpeggios. Now the arpeggios, we're going to have a minor 7th arpeggio, so it's just going to be using the notes 1, 3, 5, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. And here's that arpeggio shape. All right? That's that arpeggio pattern. The numbers written in there are the scale degrees. Remember, if it says 3 or 7, it means it's really a flat 3 and a flat 7. And then there's a little run there that you can play in like a kind of a swing feel using those notes, just to kind of get an idea of what you should be doing with this stuff. Just kind of mess around with it a little bit. All right, and then after you get the idea, those runs are just a way of giving you an idea. You should really be writing your own. And then we have the minor 6, which is going to be a 1, flat 3, 5, and 6. And here's the arpeggio for that. All right, if we're going too quickly, remember, this is all in the PDF, so this is kind of a video just to kind of follow that along, but you're really going to learn it by reading the PDF that you'll get at guitarlessons365.com. So then we have a minor 6-9, which is just a 1, flat 3, 5, 6, and 9. Now keep in mind that a 9 is the same as the second scale degree. So whenever, if you're in the key of D, E is a second scale degree. So any E here is going to be considered a ninth. All right, so we have these are just notes to solo with. They're chord tones. They sound great with over any of these minor chord families. Then we have the minor ninth, which is going to be a 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, and 9. And then we have a minor 11th, which is a 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7th, 9th, 11th. So in that one, there's also a little note on the chart that the 4th is the same as the 11th. So if in the case of D, the 4th is a G. So any G, we're actually going to call an 11th. In the chord chart, and on the arpeggio pattern, you actually see it called a 4th because 11th wouldn't actually fit in the dot themselves with the software I use. So that's why I said a 4th is the same as the 11th. And there's a little run there for that. Now, the scale type that we're going to use, and so a majority of your soloing is probably going to be, you'll be thinking about scales, is going to be Dorian. A majority of jazz guitar players use Dorian over a minor 7th chord. All right, and most of these minor chord family chords, Dorian is by far the most used. So this is the only one we're working on here now. So if you know your 3 notes per string scales that we did at the site, if you don't know that, please check out that on the 3 notes per string scales videos. That's what teaches you how to do all these modes and all of these scale forms. If you have gone through that, then you know what I'm talking about when I say D Dorian. Also, there's modal theory on the site too that you should get down if you don't know about these modes in the theory section. But if you don't know what D Dorian is the second mode of a major scale. So the idea here is we need to figure out what major scale that is. It's kind of a parent key. So we have D Dorian is this. So D is the second tone of C major. So we're in the parent key of C major. So we're going to visualize C major across the neck. And we're going to keep it right at these chord forms that we're already doing over this D minor 7th. So right in this area of the neck, if I wanted to play D Dorian or C major, well, I'm going to start here off of this A. This note A is in the key. It's the 6th tone in C major. So we're going to use the shape built off the 6th that you would already know if you've gone through these 3 notes per string scales. All right? So to play that key of D Dorian right here, I'm going to play the shape built off the 6th off of A. And here's that. Okay, now what makes Dorian pretty interesting scale is it's the only minor scale that has a major 6th in it. So that, when you're going through the scale, you're really going to hear that. All right, so it really sticks out. But that's what gives Dorian its quality. So be sure to use that and recognize that tone. It'll probably stick out to you pretty well. Okay, so after getting these down and getting the previous major chord ones, I want you to do what I was doing at the beginning of the video. You're going to see another video here that has that same chord progression I was played just as a backing track, obviously without me playing over it. I'm going to go through those series of 4 chords 4 times, and on the screen it'll tell you exactly what chord you're listening to at that moment, as well as what scales and arpeggios to use over it. So you'll never get lost, and you can just play along with it and just watch it again and again and again, and get good at going from major chord types, minor chord types. It goes major, minor, major, minor. That's the chord progression, and it just repeats. Okay, so have a look at that video, and I will see you guys next time with more lessons, more jazz guitar lessons. All right, have a lot of fun. Bye-bye.